Hey, good morning, guys. I'm going to be working on a 2003 BMW 330 Ci today. Nothing special, but I just wanted to kind of let you guys know what I was doing. I'm going to be replacing a transmission control module, expansion tank, and lower control arm mounts. The transmission control module, the original one, whenever I put the motor in, got everything wired up. For some reason, there was a voltage spike. You know, these are 12-volt systems. Well, I don't know what happened, but anyways, there was a voltage spike, and it jumped from 12 volts to 18 volts. And when it did that, it took out the transmission control module. So I've got to replace it. Now, the thing is, whenever you do if you ever have to replace one of these, you have to get the same exact part number to match the one in the car. Because they all have different things that they do. But this one, is a 0260002 part number. Matches the one that's in the car. The only thing that sucks about this whole thing is once you get it put in, your limp mode light will be on, but you take it down. In my case, I'm gonna have to take it down to the BMW dealership and get this thing programmed to the car, coded to the car. So that's not that big of a deal. Second thing, gonna be doing these control arm bushings. I replaced these on this same car last year, and this girl that owns it, she drives down a dirt road a lot. Well, I don't know what happened, but the other ones that I put in, they're already tore up. The bushings have started tearing out around here, and yeah, so I get to be doing that. So, the third thing, I'm going to be replacing this expansion tank. I'm using a Bear brand. It's a pretty good brand. I've had good luck with them. But anyways, so what happened with this one? Like I said, I put the motor in there, and everything was fine. But for whatever reason, the whole radiator assembly, it leaned forward or backwards towards the motor, and when it did that, the serpentine belt cut into the expansion tank. So that sucked. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to be working on today, and hope you guys enjoy the video. And sorry about the lighting. It's fading in and out, the darkness is. But anyways, well, I'm gonna get these cars moved out and get this car moved into place, and we'll get after it. Okay guys, today I'm going to start off with replacing the transmission control module, and I'll show you exactly how to do that. You're going to need to get a 5mm hex head bit, and you're going to be taking these. You guys can see it. You're going to be taking all these out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. It's pretty simple. Pretty simple to do. Take all 4 of these out loose. You don't have to take them completely out. Just pop your cover off. Now what we got to do is we got to pull this clip, and this clip out. And in order to get these out, you press down on the little tab. There you go, just like that. Just like that there. All right, now that you got those loose, there should be little clips. I don't know how well y'all can see that, but there's some little clips you just push back right there, right there. You should just be able to pull this thing right up and out. I'm gonna set the camera down so I can do it. Be careful not to pull any other wires. But yeah, there's the old one. This thing, like I said before, it there's a voltage spike, and it caused it to short this out. So here's the new one. You know, it's matching part numbers, all that good stuff. Anyways, you just pop this thing back into place, and it'll, sometimes they can be difficult. 9 times out of 10 though, it's pretty easy. All right, got the new one in. Just place your clips or your connectors just like that. And just reattach your the top. You do not want to over tighten these because you will break the lid, as it's plastic. And there it is. Transmission control module has been replaced. Now we're going to move on to doing the expansion tank. All right, guys, in order to get the expansion tank out, you got to remove your air box. And so let's get started. In order to do that, of course, you remove your connector for your mass airflow sensor. You're going to need a 10mm socket. You can get these those bolts out right there. That one and that one. So pull those out. You need to get a flathead screwdriver and loosen up the clamp for the intake boot. All right. Next thing you want to do, you can actually loosen up the cap. There's the lid to the air box. Just like that. Pull all that out of the way. There, that's out. Now, remove the air box. What we're going to be removing, this right here, this is the expansion tank, and all the coolant's already been drained out of it, of course, because like I said, the serpentine belt got into it, and I don't know how that happened, but it's pretty weird. But anyways, well, I guess there's a little bit of coolant left in it. Not a lot, but anyways, all right. And in order to get this out, you need to get you a flathead screwdriver or a pick of some sort. You got these little clips right here. I don't know if you guys can see. There's some little clips right there. What you do is you just pop those up. You got 2 of them on this side. Oop. Pop those up and out. You gotta remove do that to get the upper radiator hose out of the way. What I always find best to do is take that flathead screwdriver, stick it right on the very edge of this thing, just kind of work that hose off of there. Just like that. There's also another clip on the thermostat side and the thermostat housing side. Just pull that, do this, it's the same concept as these. You just stick the screwdriver in there and pop it out. And sometimes these things can be, get stuck. Yeah, so see there's the other clip. Anyways, now there's a another hose down here. It's this hose here, and the way to get it out, there's another clip right here. You do the same exact thing. You put the screwdriver in there and pop it loose. This hose can be a little bit trickier because it's a tighter fit, so I'm gonna have to set the camera down to in order to get this out. Well, that came off pretty easy. Let that finish draining. One thing I forgot to mention is the expansion tank is actually fastened to the radiator by a Torx bit. You're going to want to use a T25 to get that out. It could be a tight fit too because the headlight is in the way. There it is. That's the screw that holds that thing down. And now at the very bottom, can't really show you, it's going to be too dark, but at the very bottom of this there is an electrical connector for the coolant level sensor. You can just reach down and pinch it and pull it, pinch the little connector tab, and it'll come right out. It'll come right out. And then there is one more deal that holds it in. It'd be that right there. And it's got a little, it sits in there like this. Anyways, you just grab it like that and just pull it straight out, and it'll come off easily. So this thing, like I said, this thing's pretty fresh. I just put this deal in, so it should come out with no problems. On these automatic transmissions, there's a transmission thermostat down there, and 9 times out of 10 that transmission thermostat's going to break when you pull this thing out. But like I said, mine's pretty fresh, so I'm pretty confident that mine's going to be okay. So if not, I'll just have to go get another one. Let's see if I can get this. Yep, she came out easily. Thank God, because I did not want to replace that. But yeah, so you could see it. This groove right here, that belt got into it right here, got into it right there, and caused me to lose all my fluid. So we'll go get the other one. You want to take your level sensor, coolant level sensor, put it in the new one. It'll have new O-rings. I don't know how well y'all can see that, but it's got new O-rings in here and here. And anyways, put it in as a reverse of the removal. You got to be sure you get it lined up really good. You want to push down on it firmly. That way you make sure it gets locked into place. Take your screw that you pulled out. Go ahead and get it back in there. Help hold it. Just pull the radiator out just a little bit and you should be able to get to it. Make things easier on you, you could always pull the headlight, but I just think that's overkill. Alright, that's in. You're going to take your clip that you removed from the bottom, take it, and it only goes in one way. Alright guys, so I was able to get that clip back in, hold it in place. Also got the level sensor put back in. Alright, so that's in. Plug your connector back in. Put your upper radiator hose back on. And she's back in. So I'm going to be putting the coolant in this thing, and I'm going to show you all how I do it. You know, everybody has their own ways of doing things, but the way I do it, I've never had any issues. So what I'm going to be using today is the Lyle brand spill-free funnel. Well, anyways, and it comes with a bunch of little fittings like this, and you got to find the correct one for your application. Anyways, you stick the little adapter in there, just like so. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me focus on it. Just like that. It comes with a cap. Put the cap on it. Twist it on. You got to make sure it's super tight. And then all you do is you take your spill-free funnel, stick it in there just like that. And always want to make sure it's wiped out before you add any coolant to it, because you don't want that crap running down into any of the dirt and dust and crap running into the motor and the coolant system. But anyways, I'm going to be using Z-Rex G48. It's supposed to be the equivalent to the BMW Blue or Pentafrost NF. I normally use the Pentafrost NF, but the parts store was out of it today. So, and I didn't want to wait for them to have it shipped from the warehouse, or I didn't want to drive out to the warehouse to go get it. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to be using. And I'm going to set you guys down and show you all exactly what I do. You only want to fill this up about 1/3 of the way. You're pouring it in, you want to look too, make sure nothing's leaking. So, we're good. And I didn't lose a bunch. I mean, the majority of it was already out of it, but this one gallon here is enough to fill the system here. This only costs about $23 at the parts store. And this stuff's pre-mixed, so you don't have to add any water to it. But if you go the Pentafrost NF route, if you use that stuff, you definitely have to buy water, and but never use tap water. You always want to run distilled water. You can get those things for 99 cents at your grocery store or whatever. But right now, see, you can see the air bubbles coming up out of it. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna start the car. And turn the heater on and get this coolant flowing through there. Got to turn the heater on full blast. It goes up to 91 degrees. Turn it on high and adjust your vent to where it's going to be blowing out heat. Make sure your AC button's off. And then come out here and watch it. And there is a bleeder. There is a bleeder down right down there on the upper radiator hose. With using this deal here, you don't have to mess with that. So yeah, so let's watch and see what happens. Whenever the thermostat opens up, it's going to suck all that coolant back down into the motor. I'm going to go ahead and fill this up a little bit more. That's all there is to it. You just basically sit here and wait now, and then go from there. You got to make sure too. Like I said, you have to have the heater on full blast, and yeah, once it starts blowing hot, then you know your system's good. All right, guys, got the coolant system all done. Heater's blowing hot, no coolant leaks, anything like that. So now I'm going to jump on to the lower control arm bushings, mount brackets, whatever you want to call them, and get this thing done. So here we go. All right, first you want to start off by jacking the car up and putting it on jack stands. See, I got the car up pretty high. So anyways, you got that done, and then you have to take off the that metal plate right there, and then in order to do that, use a 16mm socket. I'm going to be using an impact on this one, but yep, so here we go. This one was missing some bolts. And there's a lot of mud built up in here. slide that down and out of the way. Now, got to get to these two bolts right there, and they're also 16 millimeters as well. And what I prefer to do, I like to do this while it's on the car. A lot of people do it other ways or whatever, but I found it easier for me to do it this way. But as you can tell, this bushing has completely pulled out of the control arm, or out of the bracket. Same with that side. It's yeah, so they definitely have to be replaced, and I think this had a lot to do with her driving down a dirt road. So, with a lot of potholes and shit like that. So, all this damn mud tucked up underneath here. Yep. All right. And what I've found easier, you take some Dawn dish soap and or any kind of liquid soap for that matter, kind of put it on there, and makes it slide. Makes it slide a little bit easier. But these things can be a pain in the ass sometimes. All right, guys, so I was able to get that that control arm, got that thing off of there finally. I ended up having to cut the damn thing off because that one was seized on there for some reason. But anyways, well, I'm going to show you guys how I put these things on. The easiest way for me to do it. It's not time consuming at all. It takes less than like 30 seconds. But yeah, so I'll show you guys how I do it. Alright, what I do is I will, just like putting some soap in there to take it off, I'll put soap in here, put it on there. Mix it. All this damn mud coming out of here. Sometimes you gotta add some more soap. Just like that, she's on. Get your two bolts, and of course I put it on wrong. Put that in, put those in there. That's all it takes. She's on there. It's not pour up like the other one it was. And but anyway, so I'm fixing to get to work on the other side and try to get that one done too. But sometimes they're a pain in the ass to get off there, so I'm not going to film this side. But anyway. All right, guys. Well, got the BMW back on the ground. Control arm bushings are back in. The aluminum under panel is back on. Yeah, and while I was underneath there, I noticed a leak coming from the transmission cooler lines that plug into the transmission. So tomorrow I'm going to be taking the car over to the dealership and to get the transmission control module, get it programmed. And while I'm there, I'm just going to go ahead and order the O-rings so I can fix that. And because I do not want this car coming back for nothing. But yeah, so anyways, well, I really hope you guys liked the video today. I know it wasn't that exciting. It was more of an informative type of deal, showing you how to do certain things. And but yeah, so if you guys liked it, please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments. Thank you.